during the dating phase, we are not diverting from what we came here to talk about.
Yeah.
That sparked my interest there. So during the dating phase, as an individual, are you allowed to date as many as you can or as you want, so that you can explore the options before you can decide now to get into a relationship?
Okay. I think everybody has agency.
Yes.
Everybody has autonomy. People can work and do things however they want. But if I was to advise, just to give a bit of unsolicited advice,
yes,
as a responsible person, I don't think you can.
Mr. Bogopa, thank you so much for coming.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Thabiso, you are dedicated. You have dedicated your life to helping people reorder their lives and shape their experiences. What personal moment had contributed to you taking this path?
That's an interesting question. I don't think there is a single moment. I think there are a plethora of moments that contributed to me choosing helping people reorder their lives and position themselves for success. And as I try to think in terms of what moment becomes for me, I think I'll tie it back to my childhood.
Yeah.
I lost my mother when I was 8 years old.
No.
And I was born and bred in Mau. And shortly just after losing my mother, I had to move away from Mau to Francistown. And the relocation, the change of environment, the change of scenery, the change in lived experiences that I was undergoing as an 8-year-old child were overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
But I quickly got access to people, or people got access to me. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah.
But there were certain people that were instrumental in my life that assisted me to adjust, that were of great benefit to me.
That's
and
good.
I realized the power, the impact that having somebody stand by you, having someone believe in your capacity, believe in your capabilities, how that could reorient you towards possibilities. And I think that was a turning point for me,
Yes.
that experience alone. So I think I took it, internalized it, and as I grew, I saw myself being that for people, being what was, being that to people because I had that.
Yes.
So I think that's it.
All right. You mentioned that you lost your mother when you were 8 years old.
Yes.
If I want to understand or know how you felt at that time as, let me say, as a child,
Yeah.
then what will be the best question for me to ask you?
It's a difficult one. Grief is not linear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you asked the question, how did I feel at the time? And I think I can really appreciate how I felt in hindsight.
Okay.
Now as an adult, looking back at the child that I was, at the little boy that I was. And I think for some time I was stuck in denial. There are 5 stages to grief, and they're not linear. There's denial, there is bargaining, there is anger, there is depression, there is acceptance. I think I was oscillating and I was orbiting between denial because I couldn't believe that my mother, who was my first interaction with the world, had passed on. So being in denial, I had hopes that, one day maybe my mother will come, maybe I'll see her again. But I think as I grew, the immaturities of youth weighted off of me, and I was able to come through other stages of grief. I was filled with anger. I was angry at the world. I was angry at God. I think it also affected my faith because I was angry at God. I didn't understand how God could allow that because she was a devout woman. She was a believer. Then shortly after that, I sank into depressive episodes. As a child, I didn't know what to do with those negative emotions. No one was there to assist me sift through those emotions. So I embodied them for a long time in my life. until as I grew older, I was able to realize and understand that my emotions were mine. I didn't belong to them.
Yes.
They belonged to me. That my emotions were not directives. They were just a call for me to understand myself better. So I think that's how I felt. I went through those stages of grief.
Yes. Yeah. You mentioned denial.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot that we are going through as individuals.
Yeah.
Through maybe different hardships, and how can we move on from, or how can we come to an acceptance that whatever that I'm going through, I have to accept it and maybe move on with my life, or maybe do something to get myself out of whatever situation that I find myself in at that point in time.
Yeah. One of the characteristics of denial is that it orbits you in the same place. Yeah. There is no migration. There is no forward movement. You are just there. You are stuck in that space. You are stuck in liminality, just a period between periods. You're not moving anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that alone should be able, the realization that there is no migration, there is no growth, there is no movement here. My situation is worsening because I am not acclimatizing to the realities of my experience. Is enough impetus to move someone forward, to want to do something better, than just sitting and wallowing in the pain of denial.
Yes.
So I think that's a perfect starting point to realize denial for what it is. It is not movement.
Yeah.
It is just locking you in the same space.
Yes.
Yeah. So in terms of moving us to acceptance doesn't mean that you agree with what's happening to you. It doesn't mean that you are okay with what's happening to you. It just means that you are acknowledging the reality of your experience, and now you are moving from just not acknowledging, from attempting to do something with that experience. And I think that's what we should all do. Acknowledge your realities. I'm suffering right now. I'm in pain right now. But what can I do with my pain, and what can I do with my suffering? That should be the mental state and posture of anyone who wants to grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you can be able maybe to move on or move away from that.
You cannot move forward without acceptance.
Yes.
You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about depression. You mentioned depression. Taking it back or to the question that I've asked before, depression.
Yeah.
Because they're relatable. It's the same space, if I may put it that way.
Yeah.
Your denial, then as you mentioned, that there are steps to grief.
Yeah.
Yeah. So depression. How do you know that you are depressed?
It's an interesting question. How do you know that you are depressed? Firstly, I would caution a lot of people to disabuse themselves of being their own clinicians, of diagnosing themselves,
yes.
or just getting into Dr. Google. I think you should see a professional to diagnose you. But nevertheless, I know the spirit of the question that you're asking.
Yes.
So I'll answer it anyway.
Okay.
I think all of us get stressed.
Yes.
All of us undergo through moments of frustration or moments of overwhelm, and we get stressed. And we are able to get out of those moments. But you know that you are depressed if your negative energy, your negative emotions, your stress is now chronic. It doesn't just leave you. You wake up in the morning and you find yourself with constipated energy. You are low. You have no zest for life. You are lethargic. You are nihilistic. Your outlook of the world is gloomy. It's gothic, and you realize that, you know what, I think there's something deeper than stress here. This is now chronic, and it can be clinical. It can be deeper than that. Yeah, so I think those are some of the symptoms that you could notice about yourself if your stress is now beyond the normal range of stress.
Yes.
Chronic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You wear many hats.
Yeah.
Pastor, therapist, family wellness consultant. What other roles do you play in impacting individuals?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the biggest role that I play is I'm a husband.
Okay,
that's the biggest role.
One.
Yeah, it takes it. It's happening 24 hours
yes,
every
yes.
single day.
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest hat that I wear.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm a student of life. I'm a student of life. Like you say, I'm a pastor. I shepherd people. I am a social constructivist. I get into communities. I get into organizations, get into businesses, and I make an understanding. I grab an understanding of what their challenges are, what their problems are, and we sit down and we look at how we can move them from where they are to their desired outcomes. I'm a family wellness consultant. As you have rightly described, I sit with families and I try to assist them through conflict resolution, through negotiating with themselves, better relationships. I wouldn't want to constrict myself to these definitions, though, because my story is being written. Like I said, I'm a student of life. I'm growing every day. I think I'll wear many hats throughout my life journey and my life course. But if you were to define me in a few heads, I think those would be the heads. But chief among them is I'm a husband to my
husband.
wife.
That's good. Okay, Pastor. When did you realize the calling? Is it a calling or a gift? When did you realize that you are a pastor, or you can be a pastor, or you can help communities through pastoring?
It's an interesting journey. I think the truth is the calling isn't singular. There are many callings in your life. And what I mean by that is that you'll get the call to serve at many points in your life. The impression will be laid in your spirit. The conviction will come heavy. It will come in different forms. But the first time that I realized that there was a spiritual inclination towards a life of servitude towards God, I think I was around 6 years old. My mother, I think she had also noticed it because the church that we were attending Family of God Church in Maung, and my mother was an elder there. And I was young in Sunday school. When I went to Sunday school, there was a deep passion for me. There's a deep passion for me for the things of God, for the scriptures, for church. I realized that I wasn't like other people. I was excited. I was elated to always go to church, to be singing praises, to be reading the Word of God. And those were the early musings of my impressions and my convictions. And I would later serve in the church. I realized early, I would read the Bible and I would quote it verbatim, beyond my age as a 6-year-old.
Yes.
And I started getting notice of the people around me that also had spiritual inclinations. And I think they started assisting me to grow in that space. And then, my mother passes away at 8 years old. I descend into nihilism. I'm angry at God. But I still continue with my relationship with him until I am now at boarding school, doing Form 1, and I completely disengage from the faith completely. That anger for God, for life also resurfaces because it was a lot of difficult spaces in my life at that time. And I think I got the second calling then. It's an interesting story. I started dating this girl who was in a class next to mine.
Okay.
At Form 1, and she would go to SU. And I was at ease just with SU because it took a lot of time from us. I couldn't see her enough. So I would go SU and I would throw stones on top of the classroom where the SU service, the Scripture Union service was going on.
Yes.
To disturb it, to riot, just so that people could come out or feel some type of...
You get your girlfriend back.
Yeah, and I get it because I couldn't convince her through superior logic that don't go to God, come to me.
Yes.
Yeah, So I would do that. And I remember one day I followed her inside. I went inside and I was sitting there. I wanted to understand what's going on here, what's happening here.
Yes.
And there was a man who was preaching there. I think his name was Pastor Fizani. Yes, Pastor Fizani. And he looked at me and he said, this boy, in less than a month, will be doing exactly what I'm doing, standing here preaching.
Yeah.
I just took it for hogwash.
Yeah.
Just me preaching. No, So the service ended and I left, and less than a month I was doing exactly what he had prophesied that I'd be doing. I found a deep passion for God. I found a calling to prayer. I started praying again. The scriptures that I had read as a 6-year-old boy started bubbling again in my spirit, and I started reciting them and reiterating them. And I think that was the second calling in my life.
Yes.
There were multiple other callings thereafter.
Yes.
To share all of them would exhaust the time that we have.
Yes. Okay. There's something that I want to understand. You started accepting the calling when you were 6 years old.
Yeah.
And then thereafter, you disengaged at your junior school.
Yeah.
So I want to understand something. As kids or as young people, more especially from your 6 years old to maybe up until you go to your junior school, there's a lot that's going on.
Yeah.
And bunzi bana ko harutwi re le bana. Did you have that kind of a life, or from that your 6-year-old to whatever age that you were during your junior school? What happened during that time?
A lot of life happened. Growing up, self-discovery, discovering yourself, the temptations of youth, delinquency, getting your identity from being difficult, just also the desire to experiment life. I was not, by no stretch of the imagination was I an agreeable child at that point in my life, because remember, like I said, I was going through grief and I didn't know how to deal with those emotions.
Yes.
So all of those emotions, they were rioting me in different directions of my life. So it was a very confusing, it was a very difficult time in my life, and I carried those emotions along all the way into my adolescence. It was in my adolescence, like I'm describing. Imagine a boy throwing stones on top of a church meeting.
Yes.
And I think that's when the second calling of my life came. And shortly after that, was a very huge turning point in my life, because I remember after I started going to church again, after I started, work of ministry, reading the Word of God, praying, ministering to other people the Word of God, a sense of responsibility set on me. As a Form 2 student, I became the president of the SRC in my junior school. I'm leading Form 3s because a sense of responsibility was set on me. I started not living for myself, not living for my own desires or for my own lusts. I started to attempt towards the high calling and living for something greater than myself. So I think, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So you, as I said, you wear many hats.
Yeah.
So I want to understand and know, how do all this intersect in maybe you helping our economy or helping individuals and indirectly making a great impact to our economic development?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, wearing the hat of a pastor, wearing the hat of a therapist, wearing the hat of a social constructivist, as you look at this many heads, and at the center of these heads, it's human capital.
Yes.
Center of this heads is people. It's my job, my work intersects with people. I work with people. And what do I do with people? I realize the capacities, the potential, the resource in people, and I harness it. I try to build it. I try to help them realize it and push them to be the best versions of themselves. And how does that contribute towards the economy? When you have a people who have an understanding of who they are, people who have an appreciation of their capacity and their potential, they tend to do the same thing that I'm trying to do with them. They try to harness their own potential and their own capacity. And the resultant of that is people become innovative. People, for example, if you have 10 people in a room, all those 10 people are not just a number. They are a representation of 10 potentials, 10 destinies. And when those people realize themselves as people potent, as people latent with destiny, with potential and with capacity. Imagine what happens when they go out into the marketplace. All of them contribute significantly and uniquely in their own way. And that contribution results to innovation, it results to creation of services, it results in creation of goods. And that is the bottom line of the economy, the ability to significantly contribute in the production of either goods of value or the provision of services. So that's how I assist in contributing to the economy in my own sphere.
Yes. Feminine wellness consultant. It starts. I want to start with marriage, or maybe should I start before marriage? I should start with just a mere relationship. Maybe I should call it a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot going on there, from dating to now deciding to getting married. What problems do you usually face and try to help families resolve?
Like you say, let's start with dating, all right? When most of us don't even understand dating. And it's not without cause. It's not without cause. There's a reason why we don't understand dating. Dating is relatively new.
Yeah.
Something that is new to us, I think, is around 200 years old. Something that is significantly new, because before dating, we had pre-arranged marriages.
Yes.
All right. So dating is a new phenomenon. It's something that we are also attempting to learn. But nevertheless, we need to, there's a science to it. We need to do it in a way that works. So many people don't understand dating, and I think that's the problem. And let me try to explain what dating is. Dating is the attempt to get to know someone better with the hopes of a romantic relationship. Dating is not synonymous with being in a relationship.
Okay.
You are attempting to get to know somebody. So let me give an example. Let's say I meet a young lady, and throughout my work, I'm always seeing her as I'm going to work, or in the spaces that we share. And I'm intrigued by this lady for whatever reason that I'm intrigued.
Yes.
Or I'm interested in her for whatever reason that interests me. And I gather up the courage, and I'm mindful of the word courage because it takes courage to walk up to somebody that you don't know.
Yeah.
And I gather up the courage to speak to this lady. I say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm intrigued by 1, 2, 3 about you, or I'm interested in you because of 1, 2, 3. I was hoping to explore the possibilities of getting to know you better.
What an intro.
Yeah. I have game, that's why I'm married.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was hoping to explore the possibilities of getting to know you better with the hopes of a romantic relationship in mind. What are you doing there? You are sharing with this, you are making a pitch.
Yeah.
You are sharing with this person what has intrigued you, what has interested you, and what your hopes are, and why you are getting to know them better. And then what do? Now the dating begins. If this person agrees to the possibilities of getting to know, to exploring the possibility of getting to know you better, what does this person do, and what do? You start to put that person in different situations and different circumstances that will illuminate who this person is, and that will also illuminate who you are. So what does that look like in a practical way? That may look like, hey, I have tickets to the Rollers and GU game. Can we go together? Can you accompany me so that we can go and watch the Gaborone Derby? Tomorrow it may be, I have a function at church. Could you be my +1?
Yes.
Tomorrow it could be, I'm going up Kale. Can you run with me? All right, and then we go hiking together. After a period of time, those different situations and circumstances have illuminated to you who this person is, because you have seen them in different backdrops. You have seen them in different settings. You have also seen them. As you buy the tickets, is this person reciprocal? Would they say, I'll get the snacks? All right.
Yes.
As you're going up Kale and you're inviting them, so let's go up Kale. Are they also thinking, do they have initiative to say, okay, this person invited me on the last trip and I enjoyed it. I also like their company. Are they also inviting you so that they can also get to know you in a setting of their choosing?
Yes.
After some time, you sit down. Maybe it's me who feels that, I think I've gathered enough information about this person, because you can never know someone in their entirety. It takes a lifetime, even within a lifetime. You'll never truly get to exhaust somebody.
Yes.
So then I come up to them and say, hey, I've been exploring getting to know you. I think with the information that I have about you, I'd like to be your man, and I'd like it if you'd be my woman.
Yeah.
And I'd like an exclusive relationship with you. And
Yes.
then we get to converse about what an exclusive relationship looks like. All right, what are your boundaries? What are the rules of engagement? What would being your man look like for you? What is your idea of a man? What is your idea of a woman? If we can agree on those things, then we are now in a relationship.
Yes.
Notice, everything that we were doing is not a relationship. It's dating. All right, so
yes.
what is the problem that I encounter as I sit down with people? I realize that people don't know the difference between dating and being in a relationship. I also realize that people do everything that they're supposed to do in a relationship during the dating space. And by the time the relationship actually begins, they don't even know when the relationship began. And the relationship becomes tumultuous and difficult. And I also realize that people are not developed. They don't have personal development. They don't have emotional intelligence. They confuse conflict with enmity or us disagreeing. They think that is for us to leave.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I'm exhausting it, but yeah, that's one of the major problems I see.
So I want to understand something. So during the dating phase, we are not diverting from what we came here to talk about.
Yeah.
That sparked my interest there. So during the dating phase, as an individual, are you allowed to date as many as you can or as you want, so that you can explore the options before you can decide now to get into a relationship?
Okay. I think everybody has agency.
Yes.
Everybody has autonomy. People can work and do things however they want. But if I was to advise, just to give a bit of unsolicited advice,
yes,
as a responsible person, I don't think you can attempt to successfully know someone if you are also attempting to know multiple people at the same time. I think you would give yourself opportunity to say, if I'm intrigued, if I'm interested in this person, let me exhaust my intrigue, or let me explore my intrigue and my interest in this person, so that I could know succinctly if I'm really interested in this person, or if this person is as interesting as I initially presumed them to be.
Yes.
So I would not advise people to get to date 12, 3, 4 people at the same time.
Yes.
You're interested in a person, explore that interest, right? And if it doesn't pay out, then you can date another person.
Yes. You mentioned personal growth.
Yeah.
Because we believe personal growth is an economic fuel. I want to understand, why do you believe personal growth is important before you can attempt to do any other thing that you want to engage yourself in, be it entrepreneurship, be it dating, be it you being a pastor, you being a therapist? How do you think it's very vital for personal growth before you attempt to do anything else?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's important for me to reframe that statement in attempting to answer it.
Okay.
Personal growth is not an event.
Okay.
It's not something that you can say, I went through personal growth and I've graduated from personal growth.
Yes.
Personal growth is a process. It is an ongoing process that is focused on, that is focused and that is deliberate and intentional about improving oneself. So it is a process that is focused, and intentionally so, on improving oneself. As you improve yourself, there are various areas that we need to look at if you're going to improve yourself. One could be on the area of your mental health. One can be on the area of your emotional health in terms of developing emotional intelligence. One could be in terms of self-awareness, just the ability to understand yourself, to know your capacity, to have a little SWOT analysis with yourself.
Yes.
As an individual, do you know what your strengths are? Do you know what your weaknesses are? Looking at your capacity, looking at your talents, looking at your giftings, looking at your history, what are some of your opportunities? Having looked at yourself over a period of time, assessing yourself objectively, what do you think are some of your threats? And how can you consolidate your power? And how can you improve your weaknesses? Now that is very important. Personal development is very important because it focuses you on growing yourself, on improving yourself. It is people that are concerned with growing themselves, with improving themselves, that can be able to build a successful business. Because business, entrepreneurship on its own, is a challenging exercise. It will require you to start something from nothing.
Yes.
For many of us, actually, not everybody starts something from nothing. But for many of us on this side of the hemisphere, you start with only your grit, with only your dream. But if you can have an exercise with yourself, intentionally, trying to develop yourself, having a vision in mind of your desired outcome or where you want to reach, will assist you later in other aspects of your life, like in your business, like in your relationships. So I think that's why I think personal development is critical. It's critical for the economy. It's not something that should be at the backdrop. We must encourage human capital. We must encourage everybody to deliberately improve themselves, because as we realize our strengths, as we realize, as we improve ourselves, as we become better, as we become more informed, as we obtain regimens in our lives that improve us, there is a cumulative effect, a domino effect that gets even into our businesses, even in the way we raise our children. So, yeah.
How do I know that I'm ready to just do anything, or that I'm developed enough to start just anything that I want to start, or that I'm interested in, or that I have a dream for?
If I was to answer that question honestly, and using my own experiences to answer that question, I don't think that anyone is ever truly ready. Yeah. You can prepare, you can get the calculations and the permutations in order, but at the end of the day, not everything will align. Yeah. The ducks don't get in a row all the time. So the thing is to start even when we are not ready, so that it is in the process, it is in the starting, in the sojourning, that we will become ready and we will become refined. So for the viewers that are going to be listening to us, I would encourage them, don't wait to be ready, start where you are. The process will refine you. Yeah,
because it's a development. As you keep on going, you keep on developing, you keep on learning, you keep on growing as an individual. Yeah. If there is one skeptic of evidence, maybe to show a trace of how personal development grows economies, what would it be for you?
When we start going to school, we come into the classroom and we are uninformed. Yeah. We are raw. We are blank of possibility for many of us.
Yes.
All right. And the education that we are given within those classrooms capacitates us. It shapes us. It grooms us. And it grows us into the individuals that we later graduate to be. And we are able to meaningfully engage with our problems, to meaningfully engage in our communities, to solve the challenges that we experience. And we are able to drive economies, to drive civil society, and to govern ourselves. That is evidence of personal development.
Yes.
That is intentional. It is deliberate, whether it is on the part of the state, whether it's on the part of the mother who gathers the courage to let their child go into school without their supervision, whether it's on the part of the child who is excited or reluctant to go into class. Yeah. And we get personal development from there. We are developed as individuals. So I think the raw as the example of that is that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any exciting moment where you displayed, or maybe you, as a coach and as a pastor, you had a group of, or a community that you maybe talked to or trained, and thereafter it had a very huge economic impact, or just any other impact to them and to you?
Now, I'll draw. There's a number of examples that I would give.
Yes.
But I think they are not as impactful as the example that I want to give you.
Yes.
When I was doing Form 2, in Duku Junior Secondary School.
Yes.
I got selected into the national team and the debate national team. So I got selected there. And as I was selected there, I was the only one that was selected from my school at the time.
Okay.
So I would go for trainings and come for trainings here in Gaborone, in Lotsani, and I would come back from my trainings and I would coach the debate team that I was with, because we didn't have a coach at the time. So I went ahead, and every single thing that I was taught at the boot camps,
yes,
I came back with it, and I taught it to my team. And as a coach and a student and a debater at the time, it exponentially grew our sides, and we were able to not only be the best in the region, but to also win national awards.
Yes.
At the state. It continued all the way until my senior school. I did the same. So personal development has a significant role in improving one's life, in impacting it positively. And one of the things that it did for me is that as I went on these camps, I was in a Duku refugee camp school. We didn't have a lot of resources at the time, so I was forced to read a lot to improve my own acumen and my faculties. And right now, I'm trading on account of what I know.
Yes.
I'm still reading, and it's opening up a lot of doors for me, both economic, it's also improving my social standing and my ability to engage. So I think, yeah.
Okay. Self-leadership, you having to lead your own self, is very crucial before you attempt to leading a group of people. What does self-leadership look like in action for you?
Yeah. Self-leadership is difficult.
Yeah.
A lot of the time you have inner civil wars with yourself because your weaknesses are protesting and they're warring against your strengths. But self-leadership looks like the ability to persevere beyond your negative self, beyond your lower self, and put your higher self into use. You know, all that capacity, all that potential that is latent, putting it into action. So that's how self-leadership looks like for me.
Yeah. Active citizenship.
Yeah.
What can you say, or how can you advise folks out there to actively participate in community development, taking part in, looking at our current economic situation right now? Yeah.
Yeah. Active citizenry requires responsibility on the part of the citizen. This country is not going to build itself. This country is not going to improve itself. And before you even think in terms of the country, think in terms of your own community, starting firstly where you are in your own household, in your own family. Your family is not going to change. They are not going to improve mystically or miraculously. There has to be effort on the part of the family members or on the part of the individual who is going to be hearing us today.
Yes.
It requires tact. It requires strategy. It requires pertinent questions that the individual must ask themselves. Or, how do I want my family to grow? And knowing how I want them to grow, what infrastructure do I need to put in place to facilitate their growth or to enhance myself to be the type of person that will be able to pull my community or to pull my family out or towards where I want them to go. Now, if we take that from that lowest decimal place of individual and from family, and we apply that into the state, it requires the individual, every citizen of this country, to look at themselves and ask themselves, what role am I playing to make an indomitable or significant contribution in my world and in my community? That's how we're going to be able to build this country, and that is what encapsulates active citizenry.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned starting from your own house.
Yeah.
You are married yourself.
Yes.
I want to understand, how does marriage or your wife contributes to you being a successful entrepreneur?
Successful. That word. How does she contribute? She is. Firstly, I've never seen anyone who believes in me the way she does. Okay. So, having somebody to believe in you, having someone whose faith in you surpasses your doubt in yourself, I think that's one of the hugest contributions. Apart from that, in a practical sense, she is a support system. She asks questions.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in love with questions more than I am with answers, because I believe that the right questions, properly posed, will bring about the right answers. So she asks questions. What are you doing with your day? How's work? What are your plans? And having somebody who I cannot run away from, who's there, I come back home to. I can't evade those questions.
Yes.
So I can only stall a little bit, but I can't stall forever. So I have to answer those questions. And how do I answer those questions? I have to answer them with results. And results are the only acceptable answer and not theory. So I think that's how she's contributing to my entrepreneurship, my entrepreneurial journey. And also, marriage requires a vision. It requires sacrifice. And having somebody who is a core heir to that vision means that all the times that I'm lacking and I'm falling short, there is someone who's lifting up the weight. There is someone who has joined themselves to you for life. And they are saying, you know, when you are weak, I'll be strong for you. When your 50 isn't there, I'll bring 100% of myself. So I think that sacrifice, that encouragement, that surety, that warranty is contributing to my success, which is not an event, which is a process.
True.
Yeah.
I hope this is not going to be a foreign concept for me. Okay. When you mentioned when you don't have your 50, she brings the 100.
Yeah.
Does that happen?
All the time, even when we are not conscious of it. No, I think, you know, marriage is a bit different. And I think one of the challenges that we have in marriage is that this is an ancient institution. And this institution didn't fall from the sky. It was initiated, it was instituted by a monarch of the universe.
Yeah.
If you want to participate successfully in that institution, then you must consult the blueprint as it were. Not the blueprint as you would have it to be, because then it would not be a blueprint. Now, using the blueprint that I use, all right, which is the blueprint given by God, who is the first deity to institute marriage. In marriage, we don't give 50-50. In marriage, we all give our 100%. And what do I mean by that? Let me practicalize that a little bit.
Yeah.
I believe strongly that when I stand before the mercy seat of God, I am going to be judged on my performance as a husband. My performance as a husband. My performance as a husband is not dependent on the performance of my wife.
Yes.
Even if she was not supportive, even if she didn't contribute to the 100%, I am still a husband regardless and irrespective of her playing her role as a wife. I still have to play my role as a husband.
Yes.
So when you ask that question, does that happen? I give my 100% every day, and sometimes my 100% doesn't feel like 100% from my own limited perspective.
Yes.
It feels like 30.
Yeah.
It feels like 20. But if we share a commonality in perspective, we are all giving our 100%.
Yes.
Every day.
Okay. So I don't want to divert too much from our conversation.
Yeah.
We talked about dating, then moving on to a relationship. We've been talking about marriage now.
Yeah.
Then entrepreneurship. So here's where I want to go.
Yeah.
So during the phase before marriage and mixing it with entrepreneurship, I know a lot of men fall short because of relationships.
Yeah.
Because of relationships, because of ladies, maybe because they were not conscious enough to adapt or follow the dream, and they got derailed by whatever that was happening at that point in time. So what advice would you give someone who is an entrepreneur and also in the dating relationship phase? Yeah.
It's a difficult one. One, I think it's important to get your vision in order, firstly as an individual, before you invite anyone into the vision. Have a vision for yourself.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to do? In fact, having that vision is a plus. It's an added advantage for you because it's going to make you interesting. It's going to make you intriguing. It's going to be easier for you to couple with the person, with another person, because they would see something intriguing and interesting about you. So I think as an entrepreneur, you need to have a vision for yourself. And the second thing, having had a vision for yourself, you need to start implementing. Get into the dirt and into the mire of trying to execute that vision. It is in executing that vision that character will develop, that your mental horizons will also widen, that you'll experience a paradigm shift, and you will become awakened to the reality of yourself. And then, in that state of awakening, I got to get advice. I would then advise you to look for a partner who is in alignment with your vision, who is in alignment with where you want to go, and who you can articulate to where you want to go, and ask them, I'm on a journey, and this is where I'm going. I'm going to Francistown, but I'm going to pass through Mahalape, and I'm going to pass through Palape. So this is how the journey looks like. Would you like to join me on the journey? And they could join you understanding fully well where it is that you are going and how they can participate in that journey. So they will also have to ask themselves pertinent questions. How can I be part of this journey? So that is the advice that I would give to entrepreneurs who are entrepreneurs but are also in the dating space. Be clear. All right, the things that you don't talk about now, the things that you don't deal with right now, they don't disappear. They deal with you, and they will demand your audience, and they will demand that your attention later on in life.
Yes. So I want to understand, in your early stages, during the dating phase, relationship phase, would you have dated or have you dated? No. My question that I want to ask is, would you have dated a simple lady who just says yes to everything, or a fierce lady who knows what she wants and who, I don't know, doesn't take anything that you come with?
You know, I'm very big on words, all right? So I think I understand the spirit of your question.
Yes.
But how do I put this? There are different stages to women, all right? There are different stages to women. What do I mean by that? There are girls, all right? Then girls can graduate from being girls to being ladies, all right? And ladies can graduate from being ladies to being women. And women can graduate from being women to being wives. And wives can graduate from being wives to being mothers. All of the stages are latent and they are locked in an individual. It is important to date, like I said, so that you can, in the process of dating, discover what stage this individual is in. As a girl, that individual is interested in themselves. They are trying to discover who they are because they are growing and they are interfacing with the world and their eyes are being enlightened. That's a girl. As a lady, that individual is interested in what you're saying. That's the example that you're given. They are opinionated. They have a desire to develop themselves, a desire to grow. They are focused on their own journey. All right, that's a lady. And there's nothing wrong with these journeys. And I might even be doing a terrible job by describing them as it were.
Yes.
So the point that I'm trying to get across here, witness, is when you are dating, understand why you are dating. What is the goal of dating? If I'm dating to get married, then definitely I'm not looking for a girl. Neither am I looking for a girl. Neither am I looking for a lady. Neither am I looking for a woman. I'm dating to get married. So I'm looking for a wife.
Yeah.
Now, there are certain characteristics that embody a wife. Then I will be able to see if this person is in alignment with me or not. So I think that's the easier or short of the long of that answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mental health. This is one of the difficult topics to ever have a conversation about.
Yeah.
Because mental health is just a broad topic.
Yeah.
But because you are here talking about you as a director and as an entrepreneur, how do you make sure that you are always on the, or you have a fitness when it comes to your mental status?
It's difficult. Mental health is difficult. It's difficult to achieve a balance. It's difficult to achieve health, but it's necessary.
It's very necessary.
Yeah. How do I do it? I think over the years I have become deliberate and intentional about building relationships around me.
Yeah.
And why are relationships important to me? They're important because as human beings, other people humanize us. We are humanized by other people.
Yes.
What do I mean by that when I say other people humanize us? Witness, if me and you are in a close proximity relationship,
yes.
if I'm close with you,
yes,
by reason of our proximity and closeness, I'm going to be able to see parts of you that are yet uncivilized, parts of you that have not yet been developed, parts of you that are cunningly need improvement. And because we are in close proximity together, by reason of relationship, I will share those parts of you with you. But I think this is what is off about you. I think this is what you're going through. How can I be of assistance to you? And by reason of relationship, I will even also position myself in a way that I could become a safe space for you to share with me your experiences, and I could participate in the process of rehabilitation or at least assist you. So how am I coping with my own mental health and how am I building it? I'm intentionally surrounding myself with like-minded people, with honest conversations. I'm decorating my life with depth, with soundness. And I think you'd see, because we are friends on social media.
Yes.
I don't comment on everything. I come in, I share my thoughts, and here and there, I'll comment on other people's thoughts who I align with. But every single day, I see thoughts that I don't align with, and I come and approach that with the humility to understand that the world is not asking to be judged by me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to judge it. I just see, okay, so this is how witness thinks.
Yeah.
All right. Well and good. I don't want to think like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the world like that. And I'll gravitate towards how I want to see the world. So there's that.
Yes.
So the part of relationships is very important to me. Secondly, I have a therapist. I go to therapy myself, even as a therapist. And I think one of the challenges to achieve health, but it's necessary.
It's very necessary.
Yeah. How do I do it? I think over the years, I have become deliberate and intentional about building relationships around me.
Yeah.
And why are relationships important to me? They're important because as human beings, other people humanize us. We are humanized by other people.
Yes.
What do I mean by that when I say other people humanize us? Witness, if me and you are in a close proximity relationship,
yes.
if I'm close with you,
yes.
by reason of our proximity and closeness, I'm going to be able to see parts of you that are yet uncivilized, parts of you that have not yet been developed, parts of you that are cunningly need improvement. And because we are in close proximity together, by reason of relationship, I will share those parts of you with you. But I think this is what is off about you. I think this is what you're going through. How can I be of assistance to you? And by reason of relationship, I will even also position myself in a way that I could become a safe space for you to share with me your experiences, and I could participate in the process of rehabilitation, or at least assist you. So how am I coping with my own mental health, and how am I building it? I'm intentionally surrounding myself with like-minded people, with honest conversations. I'm decorating my life with depth, with soundness, and I think you'd see, because we are friends on social media.
Yes.
I don't comment on everything. I come in, I share my thoughts, and here and there, I'll comment on other people's thoughts who I align with. But every single day, I see thoughts that I don't align with, and I come and approach that with the humility to understand that the world is not asking to be judged by me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to judge it. I just see, okay, so this is how witness thinks.
Yeah.
All right. Well and good. I don't want to think like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the world like that. And I'll gravitate towards how I want to see the world. So there's that.
Yes.
So the part of relationships is very important to me. Secondly, I have a therapist. I go to therapy myself, even as a therapist. And I think one of the challenges that we have is that we think therapy is luxury. It's not luxury. You need to sit down with someone who has a trained eye and a trained ear, who can be able to look into your issues, who can be able to make an informed diagnosis and provide you with an intervention plan that will be able to assist you. One of the challenges that we have with mental health in this country is that it has become a buzzword, all right? We talk about mental health, but very few of us are doing anything about our mental health. Very few of us are actually sitting down with a therapist.
Yes.
Very few of us are actually intentional about personal development. It's buzzwords for hashtags. And how do you know that? You would see the level at which we preach mental health, the level at which we preach that patronage, that even if you don't have a personal meaning to your life, you can find meaning in the collective. And I think that is what we don't have, and that is what we should have. Yeah.
You mentioned strategy.
Yeah.
What are the three pillars, if you were given an opportunity or platform to come up with strategies that link personal development to our GDP growth in the country? What are the three pillars that will be non-negotiable?
Identity.
Yeah.
I think identity. And this is why identity is complex, but also very simple. I think Botswana we are suffering from an identity crisis. Yeah. And this is why. You know, I know you are, I think you're a Mandela Washington Fellow.
The Study of the U.S. Institute.
Yeah, Study of the U.S. Institute Fellow. Yes. And it takes a lot of Africans from different countries. It takes a lot of people from different countries. Yes. If we were to meet, let's say, 2 weeks from now in Washington, D.C., and there'd be a fellow from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
There'd be a fellow from Nigeria. There'd be a fellow from the Congo. There'll be a fellow from Ireland. And we are all sat in the same place, and we are having a conversation. You would be able to tell who the Nigerian is. You'll be able to tell who the Zimbabwean is. You'll be able to tell who is Irish.
Yes.
You'll struggle to tell who the Botswana is. All right?
Yeah.
Because we don't have a distinct identity.
Yes.
And we don't have a distinct identity because we have not invested in our distinct identity. And not investing in our distinct identity comes with consequence, comes with a lot of consequence to us.
Yeah.
Because it makes it difficult for us to stand out if you don't have a distinct identity. because your identity mellows into the identity of other people, or when you are supposed to demonstrate your identity, you shrink into the identity of other people, and you pick up their beat, you pick up their tongue, you pick up their twang, and you are swallowed.
Yeah.
And that affects our GDP growth, because who is Botswana? I've never heard of Botswana. And when you now speak about Botswana, you will have to speak about it in relation to the countries that surround it. All right. So I think we need to invest a lot into our identity. Now, coming down to personal identity, there's a difference between what you are and who you are. A lot of us know what we are, and we mistake it for our identity. But identity is dual. What you are, Mr. Witness, is the empirical information about you. We can find what you are. We can get that in a search engine. You are a male, your age, where were you born, who your parents are, your height. That's what you are, all right? Where do your forefathers come from? That's your history. We can trace it. That's what you are. Who you are is different from that. Who you are concerns itself with your essence. It concerns itself with your purpose. It concerns itself with your reason for being. It concerns itself with your fate, your destination, where you want to land as an individual. So when I say we need to invest in our identity, I mean it in two forms. We need to invest in our national identity, like I said. Two, we need to invest in our individual identity. Who are you beyond what you are? What is your purpose and what is your essence? And I think as individuals attempt to discover that about themselves, it will significantly contribute to the improvement of the home economics, home GDP, which will also improve our national GDP.
Yeah. I smiled when you spoke of identity. And that when we get together with other people or other nationals, we struggle to know who we are. Because the previous guest said the same thing, because I asked the question, what makes us different as Botswana with other nationals? And she made me answer the question, and I failed, terribly failed, because I do not know what sets us different. So that is a concern, number one, as a country and as individuals, because it feels like we're just existing. We don't have anything that makes us who we are, or we don't have anything that maybe makes us strive to developing our identity as Botswana. My question will then be, where should I start as witness?
As witness, it's an interesting question. Where do you start? Because we have the dichotomy of individual identity here and national identity. Let me attempt to answer both. Okay. As witness, you must discover who witness is. And I'm very mindful of the words that I'm choosing. You must discover, because identity is discovered. And to discover means what? It means that you must intentionally attempt to uncover who you are. Through self-awareness, look at yourself and ask yourself pertinent questions. Uncover what your purpose is, pursue it. All right. So, and once you have found what your purpose is, become stubbornly who you are. Become intractable in who you are. All right. Express your luster, express your dimension, live out your level and your class fully. All right. Unapologetically so. And as you do that, other people would be able to learn by reference and by example, and they will attempt to do the same, because people are always looking at us. All right. Number two, in terms of our national identity, like I said, we need to have a vision, a shared vision, a common vision that we could all uphold, that requires us to uphold it wherever we are. All right, and then we can stand by it. There are many nations that we can learn from. The Nigerian in Botswana, the Nigerian in South Africa, the Nigerian in Japan still showcases his Nigerian identity. No matter what. He is the same things. He gravitates towards the same music. He gravitates towards the same clothes.
Yeah.
He gravitates towards the same character, attributes, and personalities.
Yes.
And almost invariably, you will not mistake them for anybody
Yes.
because they have that ingrained into them. Of course, it's not the same for all nation states, as in that they had to sit down. It was circumstances
Yeah.
that built that into their fabric.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we didn't have the same circumstances as I think, in my hypothesis,
Yeah.
as I think that contribute towards national identity. One of them is struggle, political struggle. We were declared a protectorate, so we didn't have that process of emancipation that causes you to ask yourself questions. Kind of struggle when it takes place, whether it's at an individual level or at a national level, it causes you to ask yourself questions. Who am I?
Yes.
Why am I here?
Yes.
Who should I be as an individual level? That also happens at a national level. So the answers that they got, they realized that as a Nigerian, for example, I should be tenacious, I should be bold, I should be intractable, and I should showcase myself and show up as myself wherever I am. So I think we also need the same. We need to engineer the same for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I want to ask one last question before we close
Yeah.
our conversation.
Mm.
What's a bold director's directive would you leave for an entrepreneur, and today, and why that now?
Interesting question. A directive?
Yeah.
If I was to offer instruction, as was giving matching orders.
Yes.
Persevere.
Yeah.
Persevere. Difficult times are upon us,
Mm.
but we are stronger than we are. Stronger than we think. Stronger than we acknowledge. The entrepreneur listening to us should persevere.
Yeah. Keep
Persevere.
on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Be resilient. Push harder.
Yeah.
Keep knocking on your gift. Keep knocking on the doors. Eventually they will open.
Yeah.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah.
Knock, it shall be opened.
Amen. Mr. Bogopa, we have a closing tradition.
Yeah.
The last guest who was here
Mm.
wrote themselves a note that
Yeah.
they would write on a sticky note for their future self. So I'm going to read this, and I want you to tell me kindly what you think of this line. Go for it. If you have nothing, go for it. Go for it. You have nothing to lose. Blow your mind and keep your promises to yourself. Love you.
That's a prophetic indictment to keep pushing on,
Yeah.
to keep refiring until you acquire
Yes.
what your heart desires.
Yeah. Beautiful. Mr. Bogopa, I'm going to ask you to do the same. I'm going to ask you to kindly leave a note that you write on a sticky note for your future self. That when you would read in 5 years, 10 years to come,
All right.
you'd say, you know what, I've been here, or I was there, I'm here now.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thabiso, this has been a beautiful conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
having me.
Aron.
Yeah.
Aron. Folks, I was with Thabiso Bogopa. We have had a very beautiful, insightful conversation about our economy, about our personal development, about our mental health, And if you have listened and learned something from this conversation, I'm asking you kindly to share with your fellow citizen, your mate, your friend, so that we can keep this growing and we can all grow so that we can be able to directly develop our economy. This is Witness, and kindly, this is the Director's Journal. Until we meet again, folks, thank you.